Bro, I'm low-key faded, bro.
Highway.
What's this guy supposed to be, the ultimate badass?
They ain't ready. They ain't ready, Jim. They ain't ready. Here we go. I'm gonna go out here, guys. What is it? You ain't Mexican. What is that?
I missed you a little bit though, so I dig a little deep in there, right? But yeah, you did that. Buddy, what is up? It is the NFL release schedule day, bro. It's the day of days. We get to break this down, man. What is up, Mike?
What's going on, you guys? Welcome to another episode of the Frisco Report.
Yeah, man, as you guys know, leaks abound, and now it's official. The 2025 schedule's out, and now we get to break this thing down. You know, Mike, we're going to talk about, we're gonna skim through this, and then we're going to talk about where are the biggest challenges, Mike, through the season. Where are the landmines? What could possibly give us a headache as far as like staying in the hunt? We all want to make the playoffs. You know what I mean? It's a new season, so we don't want to say. We don't want to say, oh, we're not going to get it. We got to believe. All right.
Definitely got to believe, Joe. Can't wait to break this down. I'm going to be honest. I have not. I know, like, we play the Chiefs on Thanksgiving. I do know that. I know we open against the Eagles week 1. I do know that. But other than that, I really don't know much about the schedule. So I'm ready to break it down and get instant Cowboy corner reaction with you guys.
Yeah, let's have some fun. Let's go ahead and take a look at the schedule. This is what we've been waiting for, bro. This is like another Christmas in May. All right.
Hey, I like it.
Let's take a look at the schedule here, Mike. So here we are. This is the official schedule from DallasCowboys.com. So this does include the dates. Everybody was so, trigger happy to get the schedule out on Twitter without the dates. It's like, that ain't going to do it for me. I want to see where are the pain points here, Mike. So let's look at it. Obviously, the preseason, we want to see the young guys get some snaps. Starters, Cowboys, they do what they do, right? Will Schottenheimer change that up, Mike?
They could. In the preseason, he could change that up.
Yeah, it could. So, but we want to get to the real deal here. So we kick off the schedule, the NFL schedule, the Cowboys. That was already announced. The Eagles, but just skimming through here, right? You got Eagles, Giants, Bears, Packers. That's a primetime game there. As you can see, it's at 7:20, right? The hell's going on there? Do we get our revenge there on Jordan Love and them guys, bro? So that's interesting there, Mike. Look at October 12th, the Panthers. General McMillan, the bust. They're already saying that Jimmy Horn Jr. is out playing that guy. I'm glad we didn't draft him. All right. The Commanders, Broncos, and Bo Nix, bro. We're going to Mile High. Whew, that's going to be a game right there, baby. That's going to be a game, bro. Mike, the bye week, I think, falls really good for the Cowboys here. It's almost right in the middle. Maybe a little bit past the middle. I think they hit the bye pretty good here, Mike. What do you think?
No, I like where the bye's at. I like it's the second week of November. You get to see where you're at physically, mentally, and recordly, all right, if that's even a word. And we play the Vegas Raiders on my birthday. Can't wait for that.
So the NFL is doing all these. They're selling their rights to all these streamers now. As you can tell, Detroit. That's going to be on Prime Video. But now you got Netflix in the fold here, Mike. Christmas Day on Netflix. Will we see a smooth stream, or is this going to be like the Tyson fight where it was all, buffered?
No, that's a good question. I know, as everyone knows, if you don't know, I'm a big WWE fan, and we stream a lot of Raw on Netflix on Monday nights, and they had some few blackouts and some few issues, stuff like that. But for the most part, it's been pretty smooth. Now, granted, the audience of the NFL is nowhere near the audience of Monday Night Raw. So, can they and will they get their servers upgradable to hold that many people on the platform at one time?
Yeah, because obviously, people will be home. It's the Christmas, everybody's gonna be around. It's a Cowboys football. It's a rival game. I think there's gonna be a lot of fans watching this game, streaming it. So hopefully they have enough bandwidth to run that. And obviously, the last game of the year at the Giants, that's going to be flexed. Either it's going to count for something or count for nothing, right? So I think that's why they put that to be determined. But yeah, man, the bye week. Now, Mike, just we skimmed through this, right? Where do you see the biggest challenge? Just looking at this off the rip, where do you see the biggest challenge here that could possibly jeopardize our chances of clinching the East, or at least making a wild card? Where do you see the pain points here, bro?
Oh man, it's right there. It's not how you start; it's how you finish. I mean, November 23rd with the Philadelphia Eagles. Depending on how Week 1 goes, either you're in for revenge or you're in for a sweep. And then you got the Kansas City Chiefs and you got the Detroit Lions. So if you do the math there, Joe, that's a lot of games in a short amount of time. So
Yeah.
and that's not easy. So then whenever you do that, you turn around and you play Minnesota. I don't know, how McCarthy's going to look. I'm not really scared of Minnesota, but we'll know who Minnesota is by December 14th. And then the Chargers. Yes, that's not a walk in the park. So immediately after their bye week, they will be tested immediately. And that right there, we talk about the Eagles collapse just a couple of years ago. This could be the collapse of the Cowboys if they don't get their crap together.
Yeah, it definitely is murder's row, right? Because and you hit it right on the head. Every year, whoever the coach is, they got to get through that gauntlet. There's always that 3-game gauntlet where there's no rest for the Riri, right? November 23rd, 27th, and the 4th. They do kind of get that, pseudo bye week here before the Vikings there, 10-day rest, right? Mm-hmm. But it's that 3-game span, Eagles, Chiefs, at Detroit, who they're going to be in the hunt probably, right? Yeah, that definitely sticks out to me, Mike. That's going to be a game there. To start the season, I think it's a good mix. You know what I mean? You've got very winnable games here. I think across the board, there's not any that really strike fear into me before the bye. You know what I mean? The one that I think will be the most challenging will be at the Broncos. Could we see Brandon Aubrey kick his first 80-yard field goal, bro?
If we're there in that week and we got to depend on Aubrey kicking 80-yard field goals, our team ain't very good. Our team just isn't very good. And
I want to see it.
I don't want to see it. I want to see him kicking extra points at Mile High.
I want to see 80-yard record-breaking field goal in the thin air. But yeah, man, I definitely want to see.
It'll be record. We'll break records if our offense can't score points. We'll be breaking all type of bad records.
Yeah, man. Which of these teams that were bad last year, Mike, do you think will give us a headache? They could be like one of those teams that was bad last year, but maybe they turn it around a bit this year. Any of these teams on here?
Yeah, be honest with you, the Giants could, depending on their quarterback situation. I mean, they got a hell of a defense over there. Caleb Williams, what does he look like year 2? With Johnson, Ben Johnson. The offensive guru, Ben Johnson from the Lions. How do they look? They could be, they could sneak it, depending on how they look and how they build their team and injuries and stuff. The Jets, I'm not too concerned about. Aaron Glenn, he's a good coach. He will be a good coach. He was a really good defensive coordinator. But let's see how that pans out with the Jets. We're talking about the Jets here. You know, other than that, the Vegas Raiders. I mean, what can what's his bucket do? Geno Smith. What can he do? And then obviously, they got good receivers there in Arizona. How does that bother us? So there's a couple of teams where it's going to be competitive. It's going to be competitive. How do the Cowboys respond to that competitive nature?
Yeah. I think some other challenging parts of this schedule, Mike, will be after the bye. Right after the bye, you're on the road at the Raiders. You just mentioned it. Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, Gentry, right? The running back. Do they recreate the Seattle type of deal there with the Raiders? Could they be a team? I think the Raiders are going to be a tougher team for sure under Pete Carroll.
Oh yeah, they'll be competitive.
Coming out the bye though, we should have a little bit of the upper hand here. Coach has been here working on McCarthy. He should know how to prepare, for these types of things. And I think, in that 3-game span that we talked about, November 23rd through December 4th, again, he should already have that, under his belt, right? Like this is how we did with McCarthy. Keep these guys, locked in. You know what I mean, Mike?
Yeah. No, 100%. And, Schottenheimer sitting on the bench for 3 years behind Mike McCarthy. He knows this team. He knows what this brutal schedule is like. He's been a part of it for 3 years. This ain't nothing new to him. He should know how to take care of his players, how to make sure they recover their bodies in that short amount of time. How do they set up practices? He should know that. This ain't a new coach. This was new to Mike McCarthy, doing this 10-day stretch this many times. But Brian Schottenheimer, he's not new at this by any means.
Yeah, man. The other thing that sticks out about this, Mike, I want to see us getting back to winning at home. You know what I mean? And being consistent on the road as well. I don't want this to be where, we're flip-flopping like, oh, we're winning at home, but we're losing on the road, or we're losing at home, we're winning on the road. Like it's kind of seemed like it was like that under McCarthy, right? Like I want some consistency at home and away, Mike.
Yeah, and in order to get that consistency, you have to have consistent plays makers on your team. Can Schottenheimer get the best game in, day out with his players? And I'm with you 100%. We have to win on the road. That's number one. And you have to win on your own home turf. Cowboys, Mike McCarthy come in here 16-0 until the Packers came in there and we got slapped around. Obviously, a lot of injuries hindered that record. But we have to learn how to win on the road. There's ifs, ands, and no buts about it. We have to win on the road.
The other thing that I want to find out, and hopefully this will leak out, who is going to be, what teams are going to be recorded behind the scenes. That always distracts the teams. I don't care what anybody says. It is a damn curse. I don't want to be on Hard Knocks. I don't want to be on Prime, All or Nothing, and it is nothing, right?
Right.
None of that crap, bro. You know what I'm saying?
No, 100%. I think if you have HBO or, All or Nothing, or even the in-season Hard Knocks, they rolled that out, right?
That's another one. Yep.
If with the rookie head coach, let him coach his team, because if there's cameras, we're going to see a little extra stuff that's not even what he's about, right? So keep the cameras out, keep the pen and the pencils moving, and let's go win ball games.
I'm with you on that, bro. Now that we broke down the biggest challenges, Mike, let's look at this week by week real quick. After that, Mike and I are going to give our predictions on the season. Early predictions. We know it's early, but it's still we want to do it and see how it looks at the end of the year. Mike, so we open up. We know about the Philly game. We open that up on the road there to kick off NFL week, and then that game is a big one because you're facing the Super Bowl champions. I thought they had a pretty decent draft, Mike, but I thought now we have Pickens in here in the mix. Our draft pick should be able to help and bolster the offensive line. What's your thought there on that game there? What do you like about it?
Joe, I like your breakdown video of the offensive lineman you had yesterday. It was a long, thorough video. All right. It was about a 17-minute long video, and Joe broke it down. If you missed it, go watch the video. Joe did a fantastic job. The trenches is where it's at. And I hope you do defensive line because I can't wait to see that breakdown. But the way you broke down that offensive line, I'm ready, Joe. And you add Clayton Adams, you add Connor Riley into that mix.
Yeah.
I like our chances. I know the Philadelphia's D-line is good. It's the best in the league. We got to watch them shake Patrick Mahomes like we've never seen Patrick Mahomes shake before.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a new year, and it's a divisional opponent.
Mm-hmm. That's
what I like about that, Joe. I like our offensive line against their D-line. You got me pumped up. You got me sold.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it should be a good test there, Mike. And then you got week 2. We're at home with the Giants. You know, they've added some firepower there. They moved back into the first. They got Jackson Dart. Will he be the starter there, or will it be Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston? I think that's going to be a fun game, Mike. You know, both sides, both teams, Cowboys and Giants, have done some moves here in the offseason and in the draft. I'm looking forward to that game with the Giants, Mike.
I'm looking forward to that game with the Giants, too. And I think Jackson Dart beats Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston in the preseason battle, all right? And I can see that happening. Rookie quarterback, let me have him, all right? Let me see what this D-line can do with this rookie. Let me see what our corners can do with this rookie. I don't have Russell. I don't have Jameis Winston penciled in. I got Jackson Dart winning in preseason because that's a Giant type of move. That's a Dable type of move. He's going to be full of himself, and we're going to go in there and rattle that quarterback.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good there. The running game is going to be non-existent there. At Chicago, Mike, you know, you're facing Caleb Williams year 2. You know, Eberflus knows these guys pretty well. I think that's going to help as well. I think, and then that's going to be at Soldier Field, right? So at Chicago in September, that's good. It's not going to be freezing, frigid, nothing like that. So good time to be up in Chicago. That'll be a fun game there to watch there, Mike, at Chicago.
Yeah, it should be fun, Joe. It should be a heck of a game. Matty Eberflus, you know, was in the draft rooms learning the strengths and weaknesses of one of Caleb Williams. How does he put his defense in the best position to beat these Bears? That's what I can't wait to see.
And then after that, man, it's the Packers will be at home. These guys have been beating the crap out of us at home. It's been embarrassing. You know what I mean? I think this young team, the Cowboys, are one of the younger teams in the league. I want them to step up here and, you know, exact their revenge on previous seasons lost. I do want to see them take it to the Packers here and beat these guys up, man. You know, but the Packers are very loaded at wide receiver. I mean, it seems like every damn pick this past draft was a wide receiver. So they've really bolstered up their wide receiver. They got Matthew Golden. We'll get to see if he's a bust or is he the real deal there for Jordan Love. What's your thoughts there on that Packers game there, Mike?
You know, there's a lot of players here that were in that loss at home, that playoff loss. Micah Parsons being one of them. I need him to protect his home turf, Joe, 100%. I need Dak to play better than he played in that last game, but for some reason we can't beat the Packers at AT&T. I need that to change, and I need it to change immediately.
Oh yeah, no, they got to, dude. They have to. It's been the kryptonite of the Cowboys,
and we're the second youngest team in the league, Joe.
Yeah, that is true. They're still very young. We're going to be on the road next at the Jets, Mike. Armand Membu. You know what I say about the Jets? They always draft the most busty old lineman there early, and then they got Membu. I want to see Donovan tear it up, bro. And Micah.
Hey. Yeah. Go hit him hard, hit him high, hit him low.
And then after that, Mike, at the Panthers, we get to see if Tedero McMillan is the real deal or is he a bust? That's there at Carolina. Bryce Young, you know, is he on the verge of being a bust at quarterback as well? So I think you'll find out a lot about the Panthers here by that week there, Mike. If they're going to be competitive or are they going to be in the mix for the number one overall pick? You know.
Joe, chuck them in the mix of the number one overall pick. Dysfunctional ownership, dysfunctional fans that can't even fill a stadium. And it's at Carolina. Expect Dallas Cowboy Nation to be in that stadium.
Yeah, I think so, man. Commanders might. This is the first time we get to see the Commanders in a while. It's October 19th. Big game here. The Commanders, they made it all the way to the championship game. I think this could be a litmus test for the Cowboys, possibly. Let's see where they're at. Let's see if the Commanders are making their wins, or is there a second year slump for Jaden Daniels? I think that's going to be an interesting game there, Mike.
Joe, I'm torn, Joe. If you look at the New York Jets, you look at the Carolina Panthers before you play the Commanders. And you're playing 3 divisional games in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In 7 weeks, almost like 40% of your games, more than 40% of your games is divisional games, all right? In the first 7 weeks of the season. I don't want them to blow out the Jets and Panthers and be cocky going at home to face these Commanders. Back-to-back road games, and you go home and you're all filled up, your head's full up with cockiness, and you get blown out by the Commanders. I don't want competitive games either with those Jets and Panthers either, because then that tells us that we're probably going to lose that Commanders game. I want comfortable win, I want disciplined win, and I want that momentum to carry in to beat these disciplined Commanders.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Mike, because the Cowboys, they've been known to do that where, they get full of themselves and they come out flat and just be real disappointing, right?
Oh, yeah.
It happened under Garrett. It happened, under McCarthy. It's just something about it, man. They're not good at handling winning, bro. And that's a big part of the game, you can't let it get to your head, As much as losing is, winning is the same. How do you handle winning, right? So, man, I'm with you there. That's such a good point you make there, Mike.
Proper time feeling the house. Appreciate that, Joe.
Look at this, dude. But then we go on the road at Denver. Like I said, we hit on this earlier. I think this could be another litmus test here. Sean Payton, he has built this program. He's building a really good team here. They drafted R.J. Harvey at running back. I think that's a good mix there for them. They've upgraded that, so they've given Bo Nix a good weapon there. I think it's gonna be a good game, dude. It's gonna be a good game. Schottenheimer versus Payton.
It's going to be a fantastic game, Joe. It's going to be coaches versus coaches. I understand there's players on the field, but does Sean Payton outsmart Matt Eberflus? Does Matt Eberflus outsmart Sean Payton? That's going to be the name of the game right there, and that's what's going to win it, because Bo Nix, we know what he's capable of. We know what he can do. Now you put a rushing attack behind him. He's only going to be deadlier, Joe. And whenever you get a deadliest snake, you got to cut him up at the head. Let's cut these Broncos up at the head, and let's go walk out of there with the dub.
Yeah, it's going to be a good win. It's going to be a good game because you get a playoff caliber team, and you kind of need to contest yourself as far as where you're at. How does your roster match up with their roster coaches? How does it match up, right? So that's going to be a really, really good test for the Cowboys before the bye week. And then, of course, the Cardinals, Mike. Cardinals historically have given the Cowboys fits for whatever reason. We'll be at home there before the bye. This is a Monday night game to top it off, Mike, and we know how that can go. So, yeah, there's a lot of ingredients here for, I don't know, would it be an upset special? Would that be a trap game for you, Mike?
Man, back-to-back Monday night games, and they're separated by a bye week. I've never seen that before. Holy crap. Yes, Joe. It most definitely can be a trap game. Depending on your record, how you're going into the bye week, and how you're coming into the bye week. Are you coming in lazy? Are you coming in determined? Are you coming in focused? That's the name of the game there. How does Schottenheimer manage this team? Lazy, determined, focused. That's how you beat them Raiders out after that bye week, because your body's rested, you're healed, and you're ready to go.
The other thing that we're hearing now too, Mike, is after the bye, supposedly that's when Overshown might be available. You know what I mean? Which I think is kind of pushing it, because I mean we were hearing that he was going to miss possibly the whole season or most of the season. Now they're talking about he might be available after the bye week. Are we seeing the same old from the Cowboys as far as like rushing an injured player back? All right, do you have any concern about that?
I would if the bye week was in October. I think where the bye week is here in November, and that's not even a bye week. Those are bye weeks. I mean, that's a 14-day rest from game to game. So I feel like those 2 weeks are going to be crucial in Overshown's knee. Can they push him? Can he push himself to make sure he's confident and capable of running, bending, flexing, tackling, lifting weights, conditioning? Those 2 weeks are going to be the telltale sign there, Joe.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see when do they activate him, because there's that window, right? They have to like announce him. They have to activate him on the roster, and then they get that window where they can, put him on the 53, right? So who will be the sacrificial lamb? We'll talk about that as we get through training camp, but somebody's going to have to get the chopping block once he comes back, Mike. You know what I'm saying?
100%. 100%. They have.
Yeah. Eagles, we talked about that there. Chiefs, what will they be? You know what I mean? Are they going to be on a Super Bowl slump, after getting beat up by the Eagles? Is this going to be the decline of the Chiefs? Do we finally see that? We saw that division, what they did in the draft. They're hunting these guys now. They are the hunted ones, bro. Legitimately now. So where are they going to be by this time of the year, Mike, is going to be interesting,
Hey, when you're in the talks of being in your Super Bowl, your third Super Bowl in 4 years, and there's talks of dynasty, you should be hunted, all right? I like that mentality in the division. I like that mentality in the league. It's time for the downfall of Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. We cannot ruin our Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't want to get heartburn. You know what I mean? So I want to see us beat these guys. Let's stuff the walrus and let's enjoy Thanksgiving, bro. At the Lions, bro, we're gonna see what the Lions are. Did losing both of their coordinators, damage them? You know what I mean? You lose Aaron Glenn, you lose Ben Johnson. Do they have guys that were able to just slide in and keep that thing going, or do we see a decline there a little bit this year? So that'll be an interesting game there. That's on Prime, bro. Right? Yeah. And then we talked about their Minnesota Vikings, JJ McCarthy, and these guys. How are they going to look? You got Justin Jefferson, the wide receivers. Him and CeeDee Lamb, I think, are the two best in the league, bar none. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see where our cornerbacks are at. You know what I mean? How is Savon Ravel going to look? Where's Trayvon going to look when he comes back? How is our secondary going to look by the end of the season? Because we're going to be challenged there, right? You got Detroit's got a fantastic attack. I mean, all these guys here at the end, right? So that secondary hopefully will be intact here, Mike, and we can hold it down there. So Minnesota Vikings have an aerial attack. Chargers, Mike. Harbaugh, I mean, he puts out competitive teams, bro. You know what I mean? He's one of those coaches that'll just stay with you for 4 quarters and just take it all the way to the whistle, right? So that's going to be a challenging game there on the 21st.
I can see December 21st game, depending on what the Chargers are doing, what the Cowboys are doing. Could that be the flex game? Does that game move to Sunday Night Football? Is that why it's a noon slot, Joe? Could that be the first flex game of the year right there? That game
it very well could be, because that could be. I mean, that has marquee written all over it. Both teams are in tough divisions, both of them. So there could be something on the line right there, man. Somebody could get eliminated from the playoffs. Somebody might be clinching something. You know what I'm saying? Like, these final 3 games are going to be huge, Mike. And yeah, you're right, man. That could be flexed. But then you got like just a 4-game rest period there, Mike. So we kind of get screwed here at the end because then we're going to go on the road to Washington. All right.
Yeah.
And then on the road to end the year with the Giants. So interesting way to end the season. I feel like we're always getting that kind of at the end of the year. Kind of that's like Goodell's way of saying, here you go. You know what I'm saying? I just feels that's kind of how it feels every year at the end of the year, Mike.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you, Joe. When I'm looking at, okay, we got the Chargers, then we got Commanders, a 4-day stretch, and then we got the Giants, which will probably be a 10-day rest. If the Cowboys are in the playoffs, if they can make the playoffs in a wild card spot, whatever, they already had their bye week in that 10-day rest between the Commanders and the Giants. Because where are the Giants sitting? Are they going to be competitive, or are they looking for that good draft pick, right? So I almost like it. I almost like it that we had to play those games back to back, and then we kind of get a 10-day rest. If we can make the playoffs, we can launch in there kind of rested.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right about that. And then they do like to make intrigue here, where it could almost be like a mini NFC East bracket. Like who's going to come out of the dust here? Because it's Cowboys. I mean that's like a mini NFC East bracket right here at the end. You know what I mean? So the Eagles, they're probably going to be. I haven't looked at their schedule, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're battling some NFC East there at the end of the year too. You know what I mean? So. Interesting way to end the season for the Cowboys. Guys, what do you think? What are the biggest challenge for the Cowboys? Which game are you really looking forward to? Let us know in the comments which one you like. What we want to do now is do an early prediction. Mike and I are gonna break it down game by game. But before we get to that, we got a super chat here, Mike Berlerna. And he has a prediction right here, right off the bat, Mike. I have us going 10-7. I predict our losses will be Eagles week 1, Packers, Broncos, Cardinals, Chiefs on Thanksgiving, Lions, Commanders on Christmas. All right. All right. 10 games there, right? So, where were we this season? 5, 6 games? How many games did we win?
I think we won 7.
7? Yeah, so a 3-game improvement. Yeah, I mean, that seems about right. We'll see about it, but let's get into this, Mike.
I'm pumped. I'm ready. Let's get it.
Let's get this schedule loaded here. Let's go ahead and share this. And let the suspense begin. Let the grumbling and complaining begin in the comments. Oh, that's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Marcus Bettis, thank you for the $2 super chat. No comment. We appreciate the love and support.
Thank you, Marcus. We do appreciate that, sir. We appreciate Marcus. Let's go ahead and let's present this, bro. And as we're going through this, guys, put in the chat box who you have winning the game as we go, week to week here, and then tabulate how many wins and losses you have. Let's do this all together. All right. How's the size there look? Do we need to go a little larger there, Mike?
On the TV broadcast, you can go a little larger. You can probably zoom in all the way to H. Can you zoom in all the way to H? All right, that's good. That's perfect.
All right, so here we go. We're going to designate this by box. We're going to color it green for a win, red for a loss. Mike, I'll let you go first here. At Eagles, week 1.
Give me my Cowboys. Yeah.
Mike's going to go.
Give me green.
Mike's going to go
green for wins.
At the Eagles. I just don't see us winning this game right out the gate. I think we're gonna, have a little bit of some. I think we're gonna have some what do you call it? Growing pains to start the season a little bit. So I think it'll be competitive. You know what I mean? But at the Eagles, former champs, I just it's hard for me to see them winning that. But who knows? This is just a quick exercise here, Mike. Week 2, Giants.
Joe, make that box green.
All right, Mike's got another win here for the Cowboys, going 2-0. All right. At the Giants, Mike. I mean, we're gonna be at home versus the Giants. I have us winning this game as well. So give me the win there. All right.
All right.
At the Bears, Mike. Soldier Field. It's not going to be frigid cold, so I think the weather should hold up here for that game there. Caleb Williams, year 2. What do you got there, Mike?
3-0.
3-0. All right. Mike's got another win there for the Bears.
Click
I
on
like
the green box, and can you bring that circle down? Will that be better?
I like this as well. I like I like us beating the crap out of these dudes. Actually, I think we're gonna kick their crap in, dude. I'm just not sold on Caleb Williams, man. Packers, Mike. We're hosting the Packers. Revenge game. Are we winning or losing this one?
Joe, make that box red.
Okay.
I didn't say it. I didn't say we're a loser. I just said make the box red. All right.
Yeah, I have that one as well. I think that's going to be a challenge for us early on. I think that not having Trevon probably not ready yet, and the rookie on this very talented wide receiver game, I think is going to pressure our secondary. So I think that's going to be a tough one for us. I have it red as well, Mike. So at the Jets, Mike, what are you feeling there, bro?
Make it green. We're back in the green column.
I got us winning that one too. I think Mimbo's going to be in for a long game. Maybe he even gets benched. Talks of being a bust will be swirling already there. At the Panthers, bro. Bryce Young, Tedero McMillan. What's happening here, Mike?
Make that box green, Joe.
Let's go green. Let's go win. I got to win there too, bro. I'll be sorely disappointed if we lose that game, dude. I do not believe that they have a good team at all, bro. We lose to them, that's gonna be embarrassing. All right. At home against the Commanders, Mike.
Joe, FedEx Field, they ship packages. FedEx packages are going to ship a win to the Cowboys. Mark me down as a dub right there.
All right. We're gonna win that one there. I have us winning that game too, Mike. I think we're gonna get them there. At the Broncos, Mike. What do you got here?
Make the box red.
At the Broncos. Oh, red. I'm with you there on that one too. I think that's going to be a tough game there. It's going to be a playoff caliber matchup. I would love to win that game if we do. It's going to be awesome. But I don't want to get the ego too fluffed up, man, right? So, but I think it's going to be a tough game here. Mike, Monday Night Football, Cardinals. We're going to be at home.
Yeah, we can't beat Kyler Murray at AT&T. He's undefeated at AT&T. Make the box green. We're going to change history.
Mike's going green. I'm going red right here. I just feel like this is going to be choke city here for the Cowboys, classic fashion before the bye. Maybe we're going to be kind of beat up as well. Maybe we're just ready to get to the bye week here, and they phone it in. Bye week. And then we got the Raiders at the Raiders, Mike, on Monday night. Another Monday night game at the Raiders. Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, Gentry.
Give me a win, Joe. Give me a win. What the heck?
Mike's going to win there at the Raiders. I think we're going on a little bit of a slide here, Mike. I'm giving the Cowboys a loss here at the Raiders. I've got 3 losses in a row here for us, fortunately. Eagles, Mike. We're at home. This is that little stretch here. Eagles, Chiefs, Lions. How does Schottenheimer handle this little stretch here, bro?
Man, we beat them week 1, and we're at AT&T. We're gonna beat them again, Joe. Put me down the dog. Give me that broom. We just sweep these guys.
Oh shit, man. Mike's got another win there. Eagles. Gosh, bro.
Get the broom, Joe. You know you want to do it.
The Eagles. I think the way I have it, 3 losses, they cannot lose a 4th game. Schottenheimer's gonna tighten it up, and he's gonna pull out a win here. So I'm gonna give him a win here, Mike, just based on how I see the season going. So they get the win there. Chiefs, Mike. Thanksgiving. Who wins this one?
The Chiefs.
We're at home. Chiefs. Andy Reid. You said the Chiefs
win that one.
Okay, yeah. Chiefs get that one. Thanksgiving. I think the Chiefs. I think this is going to be a coaching deal here as well. I think the Chiefs are just going to outcoach the Cowboys here. I think we're going to lose that one too. Thursday night football, Mike. The last of this little short burst of games here. Are we tired? Are we running on empty here at the Lions on the road? Thursday night football, Mike.
It's a loss.
Thursday night football at the Lions. What does the coach say over there when he's gonna bite knees, or what the hell does he say over there?
You're gonna bite the kneecaps, and then we're gonna knock him down again and bite an ankle.
Yeah, I think we're gonna take a loss there.
Bite an ear off.
Vikings, Mike. Sunday night football. Big game here.
Cowboys get back in the win column, Joe.
That's gonna be a hell of a game, bro. Green there. We're at home. I think I'm gonna take the Vikings here. I just think JJ McCarthy's still gonna be on a little bit of a learning curve. It's kind of his rookie year, right? Yeah, I mean he missed the whole season. I think Eberflus is familiar with that division. He's gonna have him ready. Defensively, offensively, I think we should be better by this time of the year. I think Tyler Booker will be humming right about now. Jadon Blue is going to have a lot under his belt. The offense, I think, is going to start humming here. Here we go. The Chargers, Mike.
Give me a win. Give me a win.
Mike's going to go win here.
Yeah, I like it.
Home here. Hardball. I'm going Chargers here, Mike. And that one. Christmas at the Commanders, bro. This is that little 4-game rest there between the Chargers and the Commanders, and then we're on the road Christmas. How's the team feeling? Where are we at here at the Commanders, Mike? We both had them winning the first game, and now here's the second one.
I don't see us going undefeated in the division, so I'm going to say this is our one loss.
Okay, Mike's going to give them a loss here to the Commanders on the
They
road.
ruined my Thanksgiving and my Christmas.
I think that's going to be an L as well. That one there. At the Giants to close it out.
That's a win.
It's a win. Mike's going to give him a win, and I have us finishing this last game as a win as well. Let's tabulate this. Let's see where we're at, Mike.
Joe, you're at 8-9. I'm at 12-5.
Oh, you already got it calculated?
Oh, yeah, I was writing it down as we were going.
Nice. 8-9, and you, what do you have it as?
I got 12-5.
12-5. Interesting. Where will we be? Where will we be? You know what I mean? Is this going to be a Garrett type of, environment? You know what I mean? Getting, trying to switch it up. 8-9, probably missed the playoffs there, Mike, with this under my scenario, right? I don't think 8-9 gets you a wild card.
But if you take the median of our win and loss, it's 10 wins. It's still 10 wins.
So it could be 10 wins possibly between mine and yours. So 10 wins. Could it be? Could that happen? I could see that. I could see this right here, this triangle of this could be the bottom here, and this could be the best where they get right here. I don't think they're going to be like turn this thing all the way around and win a bunch of games, Mike. So I think this is a good little triangle here. Like this could be like, where they're at on the low end, 8-9.
Yeah.
High end, 12-5, and most likely 10 wins is very possible, Mike. So good scenario, very fun. I loved it, bro. I love how we broke this down. Very fun, very intriguing, I would say, Mike.
Hey, count your red. Make sure there's 9 red in there because I think I missed one. Count your red real quick. Make sure that's right. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go past the bye week. Go up a little bit.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
And,
okay.
Yeah.
I counted it right then. Okay.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
No.
17 games. I have us going 8-9. Mike's got I'm going 12-5. And we could very well win 10 games. Would 10 games get us into a playoff, Mike? Would that get you into a wild card? 10 games.
I think it does. I think it does. It all depends on how. Let's count it, right? There's 7 teams that go in the bracket. 1 gets a bye week, so there's is that 6 teams? Yeah. So let's count the 6 teams. Let's look at our schedule here. Let's see. NFC teams, right? Let's say the Eagles get there. That's 1. The Lions, there's 2. Can the Packers get there? That's 3. The Commanders, that's 4. What team? What 5th NFC team would be there?
That's a good question. Hard to say. Mike Berlerner with a super chat. When is Trayvon coming back? So Trayvon Diggs. Yeah, it's kind of up to him, man. Right? So Mike, we always talk about that as far as like, are they using the trainers here or are they going outside to get trained? And who did the surgery? Right? Do we know? I
don't think we do.
Was it all homeboy? My favorite doctor. Was it Dr. Giggles? Who did it?
Dr. Giggles. Was it Dr. Quack?
That's what I'm calling him, bro. I don't give a shit what people say. Marcus Betts, another super chat here. Yeah, Mike. I'm really not sure, man. It could be. I know he's gonna miss a couple of the early games, and knowing the Cowboys, they might wait to the bye and just completely heal it. I mean, who knows? You know what I mean? But the sooner the better, man. I like Trayvon myself, man. I know sometimes he makes business decisions, but man, he can ball hawk that ball, man.
100%.
I like that about his game, man.
What I don't like though, Joe, is he left a bad taste in the fans and the front office's mouth by checking himself out, going to IR on his own. I know Jerry, Steven, even Coach Mike McCarthy was caught off guard with that. Did he quit on the team? Where's his mindset at now? Those kind of things.
It's true, bro, and that's kind of what facilitated Amari Cooper leaving, and I think that's why they weren't even really considering Amari Cooper. That was all a rumor. It was Pickens from the jump. The scary thing was that Rashad Bateman was in the mix.
Yeah, the Ravens number 3.
Dude, we would have screwed up if they would have done that. Dude, I would.
Luckily, they wanted a second round pick for him, and Jerry said no.
Oh, I would have been so mad there. Marcus Betts, $2. Got to get a one tech. I don't trust Mozzie. Very good point there, man. You know, and I think you're gonna find that out here in camp. You know what I mean? And if they don't like what they see, man, do we see a trade? Do they pick somebody off somebody's roster? You know.
Well, if they do a type of trade, Joe, you remember how we got Nashawn Wright traded and we picked up Andrew Booth Jr., or when we traded off Kelvin Joseph and we got Noah Igbenogany? I think it's going to be that type of trade, all right? What defensive tackle is failing on one D-line, and they're going to swap D-linemen? That's what they've done recently, and I don't see why they would do things differently, especially with the capital they gave up for George Pickens. I think it's player for player if they trade for Mozzie.
Bro, you hit it right on the head. That's the MO, and you always have to follow a team's MO. They're going to do what they do traditionally, and you're right. They traded Ryan Switzer for Jihad Ward. Remember that one?
I do.
Oh,
yeah.
That was another one. So start thinking about, if that does happen, who could they trade for another guy, right? Who would that be? Would it be Jalen Brooks? Would it be Jalen Tolbert? You know what I mean? Because we got Pickens now. So one of these dudes, they may not even make the team, right? So start thinking about something like that happening there, so something to keep an eye on. I'm with you, Marcus. I don't trust Mozzie either. Him and Guyton, they're on a short leash, bro. Like, if they come out of here in camp just, half-assing it, I have a feeling that the other guys are going to get opportunities. Like Awesome Richards, right? We talked about him. He'll get an opportunity. But for one tech, we're still pretty thin there, right? Like, who do you have? You got the rookie, Yeah. I could see that, bro. I really could. I could see a move there.
They didn't get any undrafted free agent guys either, did they? For defensive tackle.
No,
they did not.
No.
What you got is what you're going to get unless they do a player for player trade. Period.
And that's what they'll do. That's exactly what they'll do, Mike. But man, what an exercise! I loved it, man. That was a lot of fun. You know what I mean? I think we were right in that mix of reality on the low end and on the high end. Turning it around. Going to 12 wins. I think that's possible as well. So I like the mix that we had there, Mike. Honestly, I think we did a pretty good job there.
Oh yeah, and I like the median. I mean, the median being 10 wins. Like you said, the triangle there. I think if Cowboys can stay healthy, Cowboys could be competitive. Schottenheimer's game clock management is good. It's going to be in between any of those numbers, whether that's 9, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 wins. It depends on how disciplined they want to be, Joe.
Will this? I call it a gimmick, right? Because it's like every year it's something, right? And like, is this leadership? Is this relationship building that Schottenheimer keeps talking about? Is that going to work? It's going to be determined, but we're going to find out here. I can tell you that. We're going to find that out real quick here. You know what I mean? So it's going to be interesting. Marcus Betts with another super chat. Diggs last year with us. Can't pay him in Bland. Well, we'll see. You know what I mean? I mean, they have Diggs under contract. But, like Mike said, maybe that left a bad taste in their mouth, and, maybe he becomes a before the trade deadline kind of guy. Maybe you use him to trade for another player somewhere. So it's going to be real crazy this season, bro. Get ready for some fireworks. I cannot wait for it, Mike. I mean, the draft is done. The schedule's out now. We're going to get to camp, OTAs, and these sort of things. Like, I'm recharged, bro. Like I'm pumped for football, man. I'm ready to see what these guys do, Mike.
Absolutely. It's okay to be critical. It's okay to be pumped up. But what is not okay is to be delusional. I know I got us 12-5. Not a lot of Cowboy fans are going to agree with that. But I like Dak Prescott's record in the division. I mean, that record right there plays a big part in that. And I did give us one loss in it because that's typically what Dak Prescott does. And I can tell you this, one thing the Eagles have not done is sweep Dak Prescott when he's healthy. When I tell you Dak Prescott is the regular season MVP, I mean it. You can get him all the weapons in the world, Joe, but none of that matters. What matters is January. We know Dak can get us there. 36 wins in 3 years, that's a good task. But how do you win in January?
Yeah, no, it's a really good point. And the other point to be made too is that, and I heard Brada say this, that after each year that Dak had some kind of major injury, the next year he had a really good season. You know what I mean? So could we get like a 2023 MVP type style out of Dak? We got to protect him. I think the Cowboys have done a good job there on the offensive line there, to help, give him protection there, especially in the front of the pocket, right? Yeah, they got to give him that arch, man. So I think they're at least trying it. We'll see what happens, Mike. Like you said, he does win in the regular season, but they do have to. If they do get to the playoffs, they really gotta change it up and win some playoff games, bro.
Oh yeah, I mean, and I still stand by this till this day. All Dak Prescott has to do is take us to an NFC Championship game. If he does that, I get his jersey. If he can't do that, no jersey.
Yeah. The other thing to consider here, hopefully he'll stay healthy. But if he doesn't, you will see Joe Milton, right? Hopefully he stays healthy, man. Hopefully Dak does stay healthy the whole season. So there's no excuses as far as from the fan base, as far as oh, well, he missed games and this and that. So, but yeah, man, very fun. I like what we did here tonight. Looking at the schedule, make sure you guys pound that like button. If you're watching live, just hit like real quick for us. It helps out the channel a lot. Share it and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll definitely see you for the next video, man. Mike, do you have anything else you want to touch on before we head out?
No, guys, appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. We had over 60 strong in here. Hope you guys hit the like button as you were coming in. If you're watching on the restream and you made it this far, whether you're in Joe's comments, whether you're in my comments, put your record down in the comment section if you made it this far.
Yes, sir. Yeah, put that in there. I want to see what you guys think as well. And it doesn't matter if it's a high win number or a low win number. There's no correct answer, really. It's all hypotheticals. You know what I mean? But it is a fun exercise to do. It's kind of like what we do with mock drafts. Nobody knows, right?
That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
We'll see what happens, guys. But it was a lot of fun. Thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you guys for the next video, guys. Peace out, everybody.
Peace.